Go, shoot.
Okay, so what I start off with is this orange box around off duty means absolutely nothing. It's just an orange box around off duty. Doesn't mean that that's selected, it doesn't mean anything. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go on duty. This is our trailer loading information. So what we're saying here is trailer number 1 is 005, trailer number 2 is 02, and trailer number 3 doesn't exist. Enter new shipping information. If we don't have shipping information, I just put NA in there. This, you've got one shot at getting it right. So if you change trailers, let's say this is the trailer I've got while I'm sitting in the yard and I go over to the north yard, this is gonna be wrong. My pre-trip's gonna be wrong to this. And this is what we found. And there's no way of getting back to this. You've got one shot at this once per day. Sometimes it's just gonna be wrong because this may be the trailer you had when you logged in, but 20 minutes from now when you finished your pre-trip and hooking up to a new trailer, this will be wrong information. So this is pretty much useless.
Okay.
The guys don't do it, but anyway, so this is the trailer we've got right now. And this is our regulation. So this is where the fella that you were talking about may actually be running Canadian, and which time he's saying that that he's got cycles. And if he's got that one pushed instead of the federal one pushed, or instead of the provincial legislation pushed, he's out of luck. So we need to go back into regulation and change it over to provincial if that's what he's running on.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go on duty again. So now it's gonna take me back here. Okay, so now I'm back to the regulation. Up here now it's saying Canada 770 instead of Alberta Provincial. So we've gotta make sure that the guy is seeing that. So we're gonna go to Alberta Provincial. Sometimes when we got some of these new ones, they didn't actually even have that Alberta Provincial in there. We had to phone them up and they had to
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we're back to where we started from over again. On duty. Okay. We're on Alberta Provincial, so we go okay. So now it's updating the driver e-logs. So this is our unit number. This is our trailer number. We need to punch in our odometer. So what we're gonna do is our odometer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got a lot of kilometers on this truck. I'm gonna get rid of that. Now, I have a defect present. I've done my, so now what I do is I go out and I do my pre-trip. I cannot do my pre-trip before I've logged in legally. So if you wanna use your phone and log in, that's great. But this cannot be completed until after you've done your pre-trip. And that's gonna be a minimum of, on a body job, 10 minutes. On a truck and trailer, 15 to 20. I don't want to see anybody come in here, hit all this up, and then press submit on this within 2 minutes because it'll show you did a 2-minute pre-trip. When the DOT checked to see what your pre-trip, how long their pre-trip was, it'll show that you did a 2-minute pre-trip. And if you say to them, no, it was taking a long time booting up, so I didn't put myself, I wasn't on duty until I had finished my pre-trip. Now you've got a falsified log. So either he's got number 1, he's got you for improper or too short of a pre-trip, or number 2 for a falsified log. You have to show that time. So this is why I show people all the time, use your phone when you get there, then let it boot up while you're doing your pre-trip, because using your phone, put yourself on duty, then take your 15-20 minutes to do your pre-trip, you're golden.
Okay.
So I'm going to show, if we press, I'm going to do this twice. You don't have to, but I'm going to show that we have a defect. I'm going to show that we have a couple defect. So we've got a truck and we've got a headlight out. We will not go without a headlight if we can at all get it fixed. If you can't get it fixed, if it's a wiring issue, then we need to let dispatch know, because Charlie, Clint, Troy, somebody's going to complain and chew out me and dispatch about a headlight being out. So we're going to show that the headlight's out. So we're going to go to here. This is why I like using the pen, because if you use your finger and you hit even over here, notice how it went to coupling devices. See? So if you use this, see how it works? So lamps and reflectors. Now, required lamp does not function as intended. So if I hit failure of both rearmost brake lamps at all times, it's going to put me out of service. But we don't. We only have one headlight missing. So the required lamp does not function as intended. So I hit that. Now in order to make this stick into the system, I have to press the green plus button. Drops it down into the dialog box. Now you'll notice it says that it's only a minor defect because I've only got one headlight out. We're good. Now I'm going to go trailer, and I'm going to say that, let's go other, because it's something that's not in the system there. It's not one of those things that came up. Now when I hit other, I've got two different options here. I've got minor defect, major defect. That's why you legally need to have with you the paper log and the paper pre-trip. Number one, in case this goes down. Number two, in case you need to see what's a major defect and what's a minor defect. So what we've got happening today is the tire is a little bit worn. We want it looked at, but it's not out of service. So, but it's where you're not comfortable.
Okay.
So we're going to hit minor defect and other. So now we got trailer, other, minor defect. We should have used tires, but if we press tires, then it's going to give us only options, and it's not going to give us a I'd like my tires looked at because I'm worried that it's getting down. That's why I use other. You can use other if your fan belt, let's say your fan belt is squealing, not the fan belt on the trailer, but let's say the fan belt's squealing. There's nothing in here to say, hey, my fan belt's squealing. So you're going to use other, you're going to use truck, other, and minor defect. So now we're going to hit that. We're going to go to the next one, and I'm going to say passenger side, and then I'm going to put wiring. Because we've changed the headlight bulb a couple times or whatever. It's not working. That's what it is. Then we're going to go please check two. So we've got please check tire, passenger side outside, axle 2. So we know it's in that position. And should be good. X out of there. We're going to go next. And we're going to put I'll throw my name in there. Even though my name is David, I have never been hit up about Dave. So I mean, if you throw in a nickname, yes, you're going to be hammered because that is a legal document. You need to have your name in there, not a nickname or something like that. But if your name is Steven and you put in Steve, I can't see it being an issue. I've been stopped many, many times by the DOT over the years. I've never been hit up about Dave Kruger instead of David. Now, this signature cannot be too complicated because if it is, it will reject it. It's got to be simple, but it's got to be close to your signature. So if you put, like Donnie would do and put that would be too complicated because hers is a complete signature that long.
Okay.
And it will reject it. So we've now waited our 15 minutes. We've done our pre-trip. I can do all this right now as long as I don't hit that send before that 15 minutes is up, 20 minutes is up.
Okay.
So at 20 minutes, I hit send, bang, it's in there.
Okay.
So now I'm ready to rumble, so I'm cruising down the road and I get stopped by the DOT. Can I see your logbooks? Oh shit. Okay, so there we go into here, transmit logs, punch in the guy's email address. This will come up as a send, hit send, 16 days of your logbooks. Now go to the DOT officer.
Okay.
That's how you do that. But we can't show him we cannot send the pre-trips. He has to look at the pre-trips. He has to look in here. So you turn this towards your DOT officer. You go to, oh my God, Geoforms. It takes a minute for it to download. Are we getting rained on?
Well, it
Yep,
sounds like,
we
oh
are.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so I want sent forms. You notice this is my last inspection that I did. I'm gonna hit this. There's our inspection. Now, if I would have put no defects, in here there would have been a dash, no defects, dash.
Okay.
And there needs to be something saying what the result of the inspection was. But as that isn't there, we now know that there's a issue. So I'm gonna hit there's my 2 minor defects, next, next, there's my signature. This pre-trip is good as gold. So I'm going to go back here.
So that home button is like a godsend?
Yeah, because now I'm back to the main
Okay.
screen again. So I want to make an annotation into the logbook. So I'm going to go into duty status. I am going to go, I think this one will work. Enter other category. I can put something in there. I can just write in there and it'll actually show up on the underneath the graph. It'll show up as an annotation saying, hey, this has happened.
Okay.
I don't need to use that. I can use inspect and it'll do now it says that when I do this and I press OK, I pressed inspect. Now I have no defects. I'm doing an en route inspection. You know, it's when you're traveling loaded, even empty, you're supposed to do a cargo securement check, 80 kilometers, and then within 80 kilometers, and then after that, every 3 hours or 240 kilometers. This is where I do that. I hit inspect, I hit remarks, I do now shows I've done a circle check. I've checked over my unit, and I can even do cargo. When I've hit circle check, I've never had anything. So we're traveling from here to Grand Prairie. I want to stop at Whitecourt. I want to make sure everything's great before I go across that scale. And I want to take my 10-minute break. Because I'm at 3 hours or 3.5 hours, I might as well take my 10-minute break. So while I'm doing my circle check and whatnot, I press inspect. It's now put me on duty, not driving. I wait until 10 minutes is up. I finish doing this. I can now okay that. Now it's showing I've done a circle check. Everything's good. Yet when I go to leave, I want to make sure that my 10 minutes is up. And then I'm going to go back to duty status. And when I go to leave, I'm going to hit driving. Okay. Now that'll capture that whole 10 or 12 minutes that I was. There won't be any. So what we have, they'll take and they will get loaded, and then they're going to creep somewhere. They're going to creep over here, and if they do under 8 kilometers an hour, it won't put them on duty. But what happens is they want to reel out your tarps, do your thing, finish sitting for your 10 for a little bit over 10 minutes. But again, you want to hit that driving, because if you don't hit that driving and you start to drive, it puts you back until from when the machine first captured you driving, even though it was 3 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
That's what happens quite a bit. So you want to put yourself on driving, just like I did there.
Okay, so that's probably what.
That's probably what's happening with.
Yeah,
because you creep somewhere, even for a couple 100 meters, and then stop, get out of everybody's way, and then at 12 minutes you drive off into the sunset. Well, it captured you driving, even though you were putting, and now all of a sudden it's captured you driving again. Just takes you right back. So that's generally what happens in that regard. So now we want to do our fuel. It's the end of the day. We're going to fuel up. So we're going to go on duty. It should already do this for us, but I had to do that because it's not capturing us driving. And what I'm going to do is okay, because that was our duty status. So that won't happen when I press driving and then I drive and then I stop. But we want to make sure that it does capture the stop. So now I'm going to hit duty status again. Here's everything we've got. We're going to hit fuel. We're going to hit remarks. We're going to hit 276. And I'm going to go shift L, because I like large L's. And I'm going to go okay. Bango. My fuel is now in there. The same as, that's how you put your fuel in. So what I would do when I go to take my my 10-minute break, I would either hit inspect, load, unload if I was going to load or unload. So right away, if I hit load and I slowly put up to the loader, get loaded, slowly put away from the loader, do what I need to do a walk around, check my wheel nuts, oils, make sure I don't have anything happening. Wait for my 11 minutes or over 10. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then put myself on driving and then drive. And that way it should capture that whole thing.
Okay.
So now,
Right.
sorry, no. We've taken and we've driven from the fuel tank over and we parked the truck. So now what we want to do is we want to do duty status, off duty. Notice how that stays there all the time, that orange ring around there. Don't know why, but it does. So now I'm off duty. Okay, so that's done. I go to home, but I'm still logged into the truck. So even though I'm off duty now, I'm still logged into the truck, and I don't want to be logged into the truck because somebody may take the truck, if I'm logged in but off duty, and then the mechanic takes and drives the truck over to the shop. I'm back on duty. He does his thing, parks the truck, and I've been on duty all night and going, well, I know I hit the button.
Yeah.
So what I need to do now is go driver, log out. Yes, I've never hit no. I don't know what that's for. I hit off duty again, and I hit okay. That's how I log out of the truck and go off duty. But let's just stop here for a second. Let's go back. Maybe, because I don't want to go off duty. Maybe I'll have to now. Come on. Okay, maybe I'm going to have to go all the way and then log back in. Okay, so it says do not do anything